Good evening, wherever you are in the world today. We are back again with our daily political discussion on Nebo TV. And today I have a special guest with me. He lives here in Toronto, Canada, leader Onsa Achibong. Sir, you are welcome to Nebo TV, sir.
Thank you very much for inviting me. And how are you doing today?
We are doing great. So,
Hello, everyone. Hope you guys will enjoy our time, and thank you very much for tuning in.
thank you, sir. Thanks for joining us today. Can you introduce yourself a little bit to us, especially our audience that are watching right now?
Okay, my name is Nsa Achibong, leader Nsa Achibong. Born and raised in Calabar as an Efik son. I moved down to Toronto, Canada, some years ago, where I have a business that I'm running. I own some few businesses here like Triumph Security, EPCO Global, and also I serve the Lord in the church where I'm an elder, and also serve the Nigerian community where I have been the president of Akwa Ibom and Cross River State Association for 2 tenures or more, and became the PRO Nigerian Canadian Association, and become the chairman board of directors Nigerian Canadian Association. I love serving my community and I love serving humanity in general.
Yes. Thank you, sir. I worked with you before in NCA, Nigeria Canadian Association. Thank you so much for serving the community. Thanks.
Welcome.
So today we're going to be looking at a holistic approach to the political crisis in Edo State and reflect it to democracy in Nigeria as a whole. So you said you are supporting Governor Obaseki, even though you are not an Edo man. So what motivated you to be supporting Governor Obaseki?
I love positive people and I love positive things. I love moving on and achieving things perfectly well. I have not known Governor Baseke before, and until I realized his impact to the society, to the Edo people. But when I say society, sometimes you may think that his impact is within Edo, but it moves outside Edo because there are a lot of people who are living in Edo that are not Edo indigenous from all walks of life, from all other parts of Nigeria, and they are benefiting from whatever that he's sharing to the people. Why I call it sharing? Like me, I always tell people that the best sharer is like Governor Baseke. If you go to Ebonyi State, you see those who touch human life, who don't put off few number of people and then service those few number of people because of power, but who does things that will touch every human being. Like I noticed about Governor Baseke. I noticed from Governor Baseke, when I talk, I have a lot of Edo people. I have friends too that live in Edo who shows interest in him. I try to find out, why do you guys love this man? This is a politician too. A lot of people talk about the things he has been doing. Somebody who has been able to make sure that benefit all workers' needs are being made. All the local people need are being made. So definitely it's a very positive person, and that attracts my attention to him.
Okay. Even though you are not from Edo State,
Even though I'm not from Edo,
yes,
definitely.
yeah, you are so. You said, how can we a kind of a holistic approach to the Edo State political crisis? We are applying it to the entire country, Nigeria as a whole. Democracy in Nigeria. How can we apply the experience of Edo State to the entire country?
You see, it's very easy. Like both of us that are here in this part of the world, politicians here, like you see, even there is no business you do that you wouldn't have profit from. As politicians in Nigeria, if other politicians, if other governors, if members, it's easy to satisfy human being. And how do you satisfy human being? By giving them the little that they can rely on. Okay, like what is happening in Edo, I believe before the issue of Edo happens the way it is, all politicians, whatever godfather they are, they believe when they steal, if I don't know if that would be a good word to use, that when they steal the government fund, the public, that fund is not government fund, it's public fund, because the fund is made available to use to take care of the public. But then when they embezzle those money, if that would be a good language to use, when they embezzle that money, they believe completely on it, that during election, they can just use it because they have enslaved the people. They enslaved the people by making them so hungry. The people are so hungry in such a way that even by the time they give them 2,000 naira, the people, their conscience is already sold out. They don't think, they don't care again. But the approach that we are noticing is in Edo is completely a different approach now. That Governor Obaseki has been able to reach out to the masses, have been able to reach out to the grassroots, of which the grassroots are not more interested about who comes in to give them little peanut for them to follow. They all decided to say, wherever you go, we are going, because of his approach. Then he has disappointed those who expected that, look, we can use money, we can use force. But the people have now said, no, it's not more issue of coming to give us a little amount of money, sharing few amount of money to people, and then the whole of the community, the whole of the indigenes are suffering. Now our eyes are open. If you look at what is happening in Edo State, I always look at it. Sometimes I say, somebody like Oshomole could have been one of the best godfather we have in Nigeria. Why do I say so? He imposed, let's call it that, he imposed Obaseki because the people of Edo State did not know Obaseki. But Obaseki was his choice. Probably there was no primaries, even if there was primaries before he handed over, being that Obaseki has been his choice, Obaseki sailed through. As at that time, there were people who were not too sure of Obaseki also, but he imposed it on the Edo people. And while doing that, he now brought an idea and said, okay, these are the things, because I've listened to some of his videos, these are the things I want you to do for the people. That is why I say Oshomole could have been the best godfather we have in Nigeria, because the exact thing he expected from Obaseki to do for the people, Obaseki honored those orders and was doing those things to the people. This could have given him an edge over any other person in Nigeria, in godfathers, because people could have trusted him, one. People could have believed in him, two. People could have just had faith in him because he brought somebody who replaced him. Like I mentioned, let's call it, he imposed somebody who replaced him. And that person came, and when he was bringing him in, he said, these are the good things this man, the quality of this man. This man is a man of integrity. This man is a man of quality. I am not imposing him ordinarily. You will see he is going to abide by making sure that the people enjoy his leadership. And this man came in, Obaseki came in, and honored that, and was towards making sure that the people of Edo State, pensioners are not more dying on queue, salaries are paid, market people are being taken care of, roads are being built, schools, just making sure that those things told people that this man is, you even use the name of God. And this man is doing that. This could have even given you the opportunity to be able to, at any time you choose a person, people will believe in you, because the first one you choose really did what you told the people that
he's going to do. Okay, according to what Adams Oshomole was trying to do, that he was the former governor, introduced Governor Obaseki to the Edo people, and now he's trying to take a full possession of the state that he has to dictate what to do, the type of person that's supposed to be the governor of Edo State. That, according to what people are saying, is the root causes of this political crisis in Edo State. So how can we counter such a character in the
You see,
politics of Nigeria?
the issue about
Mm,
Nigerian politics,
mm,
not even Nigeria alone, even Africa, is the quest for too much power, selfishness, greed. I just want to be there. That is exactly the reason why you see there's so much embezzlement of money, not doing anything, because everybody wants to be there and be in power and be in control. The situation in Edo State is a situation that has propelled an eye opener to politicians and to all those young boys and girls that are not that they have enslaved. Graduates, you see graduates being touts, you see graduates being murderers, you see graduates being kidnappers just for political reason. If, like, okay, I will say for example, if Nigerian politics, our people should stop obeying this issue of godfatherism, which he Oshomole himself started by informing Obaseki and the rest he doesn't want godfatherism. And at the end of it, he thought, well, let's bring people like Obasanjo in. Let's bring people like Tinubu in. These guys are enslaving people, and they believe they can work on people's intelligence at all times. At this moment, you notice that Obasanjo is no more political power in Nigeria, because initially he was okay. He moved from from PDP when Jonathan was there. Jonathan was respecting him the way Obaseki is respecting Oshimole. You watch so many of Obaseki's speech. I have not seen any way he even insulted Oshimole, despite all these crises. This shows a man of intelligence. This shows a man of integrity. This shows a man that says, oh, no, it's not about the power. It's not about the politics. It's about the people. He's my godfather. He brought me in. I respect him. Under no circumstance should Oshimole expect Izai Iyamu to respect him. Izai Iyamu is just doing whatever he's doing now to grab power. If you watch all the videos, the kind of insult, even up to the stage, Oshimole has even said when he was still a governor that he set aside his immunity. That means even if Izai Iyamu should take him to court, definitely anything he says, if he's wrong, the court will his immunity. But that by saying that prove that this man I'm talking about, all I'm saying about him, all the criminal things I'm talking about him is true. And up till now, Yamu have not sued him for even one day. So back to what I was mentioning, people like Obasanjo, before you make any give somebody any position in PDP those days, people will first of all run to him for his blessing. So he was so carried away with that blessing that made him believe that, oh, he can't do, nobody can do anything without him. That is why he left PDP. And that is why, what do you call him, Buhari and his group came into be in power because of lack of, for sure, we believe that if he had supported Jonathan, it wouldn't be like this as it is. Buhari and his group came. He was expecting that when he gets in there, Buhari gets in there, he's going to use Buhari like forgetting that Idiabon was the one who made Buhari administration what it is. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. And now he doesn't know what to do. All he has to do now, like me, I feel it is frustration that you see him going around everywhere complaining Buhari. All those things he's complaining about Buhari existed during his military administration and existed when he is the political, the president of Nigeria. You go back to Lagos State, they had a governor called Ambode.
Yes.
Ambode came and was doing things the same way by who was brought in by the Tinubu. Tinubu brought him, and Ambode was also performing, even though I'm not going to say he performed 100%, but we should understand no one person will finish the job. is when you do, there is continuation. Like then Tinubu came, oh, you are not servicing the people. No, man, we are not to service individuals, touts, and we are here to service the people. What happened as a godfather, he used force and removed Ambode. Now that is the same thing Oshomole thought he's going to copy in Edo State. But he forgets that my brothers and sisters of the Yoruba tribe are more loyal to their godfathers, to somebody who mentored them. And I mean, like you will see, like I was trying to sometimes, they respect somebody who mentored them more than any other thing. So he believes that probably if he bring that kind of a thing in Edo State, it's going to work. Come on, the people of Edo State are not stupid. They have wise people. The same people are watching the video of what you said against this man last time, and today you are changing it. Even the man himself, if he wins, he won't even trust you anymore because he knows that you can also change your move against him again tomorrow. All he needs is the power. So why, if I may put, for example, Cross River State I come from, the first governor we had, who was Donald Duke. Donald Duke performed exceedingly well. So many people wanted to copy him, but the lack of continuation, that is what brought the Cross River State back to where, to say maybe level, because the second governor that took over from him definitely killed his vision. Then the current governor we have is just nothing to write home about. So why should we not think about that? Is the people. So what is happening in Edo State today is a proof that when you come, think about the people. And when you think about the people, definitely they will be there for you. I'm not going to sit here and say that all the governors or everybody is sent. Even Obaseki, we are not going to say he's a saint.
He's not, yeah.
But then, why are the people behind him? Because he said, okay, I have $200 or 200 naira for a project. Now I will put 150 naira or 100 naira to that project so that that project will be shared to everybody, will enjoy it. Then the other 100 naira, I can share it too within me and my government and all those things for us too to survive, because it will be wrong to say that God promoted you to an exalted position. You were a poor person and God gave one way, promoted you to exalted position. And you say, oh, I stay there, and then you come out completely poor. Then you are mocking God. God has brought him to exalted position. But think about the people. And when you think about the people, like what is happening in Edo State, you see it practically that people are not interested. Only few, quite already. In every 12 disciples of Christ, there must always be someone Judas. Or
Judas, yeah.
People, there are still people that may not even support Isaiah, but all they need is money. Like I mentioned, if you come to Akwa Ibom State, Akpabio was really, really respected in the whole country, and state. He was being honored. He was the kingmaker. But out of greed and selfishness for just the same godfatherism, he lost it. He really lost it. And that is exactly what is happening with Oshomole now. I believe he will sit back and see that even no matter what, he's not going to get that exalted position and exalted respect people were having for him. Because now that he said this against Yamu, today he's saying this against Obaseki. Come on, we are all human beings and all of us have brain to think.
You know what he did? I hope you have been following the trend that Governor Obaseki was disqualified during the APC screening, governorship screening. The same screening that he passed through 3 years ago before he became the governor of Edo State. So he did the same thing this time, or Adams Oshomole, because he was the chairperson for the working committee that screened Governor Obaseki. So the same screening that this man passed through a few years ago, that he passed, he was successful, the same thing he did this time. Adams Oshomole and his people, they made sure that they disqualify Governor Obaseki. So that is what exacerbated this political crisis, intensified because prior to the screening, the crisis has been going on in the state. Few days, was it not 2 days after the governor was disqualified, Adams Oshiomhole himself, the Court of Appeal upheld his case and he was sacked as the national chairman of APC. You see what is going on in Nigeria.
You see,
Honestly,
one thing about Adam
yeah.
Oshimole's issue is a matter of everybody's star are not the same. We all have different stars. The same way we have different faces, stars are different. Like if you, there is one thing people say: truth is bitter. I always say truth is not bitter. Truth is only bitter to let me put it this way, to a fool. Because why? The person hears the truth, maintain his refuse to learn from it and remain. But a wise person hears the truth, learn a lesson from that truth, and then make improvement or make correction. Adam Oshiomhole wanted to follow what is happening in Lagos State with Tinubu. You can't copy the same, because each families have this different ways of life. You brought people to come and do what you call it, screening. And then even myself, I will say that shame on you. I will say those men that should even not, I don't know how they can cover their face, because the reasons are given. Is that reason in the APC constitution that somebody with such reason should be disqualified? Or is it in Nigerian constitution? And this is the incumbent governor.
Yes,
but if you disqualify him because of that, then you people supposed to, by the Edo people supposed to sue you for bringing a wrong person from beginning to be the governor of the state.
Okay.
That you come down to discover that you allow somebody who was, then why? Okay, you are disqualifying him because of that. The former governor, what was his own qualification? What qualification did he use in contesting that will make this particular qualification be something suitable? Even people, sometimes when you are conducting things, you should put your integrity out. I listened to the news, listen to when they were conducting that, what do you call it, the screening. I saw the man himself, who was swearing by the name of God, when you know that what you are doing is wrong. So how do we change all these things? We have to change all these things by changing the perception of human, changing the perception of our Nigerian audience, to understand that the money these people come to give you, as people have said it million and million times, does not worth your life. The only thing that worths your life is what you do, what arrives, what gets into your hand. Like now you come to Edo State, there are roads, and when these guys are doing all these things, embezzling this money, they don't remember that after 4 years or 8 years, you won't be in that position anymore. And when you are not in that position, those roads that you did not fix, you will still come to drive by, because it won't be when you get to those roads, they'll say, okay, you were former governor, and then your car will start flying. You will still pass through those roads. Those hospitals that are not there, even if you are not the one going there, your family will still go there. There are so many things that you can do for the people, and when you satisfy the people, like Obaseki has done, that is why people support him. Even we that are non-Edo indigenous, who love progress, who love positive people, stick our head and say that, look, I can campaign for him. Doesn't mean I must be in Edo. I use all means I could, like the media. All my friends I know in Edo State, people from my place I know in Edo State, people from Canada, US, UK that I know, I contacted them to say, please, if you have a friend or a family member that is in Edo State, please call that person, let them see reason why everybody should support Obaseki. And you see the mass exodus of people, not even few, the whole market, the whole street, the whole pensioners, Anywhere you talk about, everybody is just, I need Obaseki. Wherever he goes, I will go there. That shows a lot of example. Like what is happening in Ebonyi State. Look at Ebonyi State. You're not telling me that those governors just did all those things and went home hungry. They made the people feel happy. And the people are not even interested. Even if let it be that the road was $100,000 million and then or naira, and you use 10 million to do what they need, they don't care what you do with the rest.
Yeah. So let me quickly answer our viewers. They left many comments here. Let's see what they are saying here.
Okay.
Yeah. So for those who are just joining right now, leader Archibong is not an Edoma, but he's one of the biggest supporters of Governor Obaseki. Okay, because he believes that Governor Obaseki, what he's doing right now in Edo State, is not just about only Edo State, it's something that all Nigerians, all of us should come together and resist this idea of corruption and godfatherism in the country. So that is what we are discussing about, that a kind of a holistic approach to the political crisis in those states, and applying it to democracy, how we can achieve democracy in Nigeria. So for those who left comments here, thank you all. Thank you. I'm reading some of them as we are discussing. Akwa Ibom people humiliated Akpabio to prove that elections in Nigeria. We have seen so many cases whereby elections were rigged in Nigeria. So in this case, how do you think Governor Obaseki will be able to win Edo State for his second term?
What if the Edo people really stand their ground, like what we are noticing? Obaseki is going to win landslide. What happened in Akwa Ibom State with Akpabio will likely be what is going to happen with Oshomole. You know, the chairman of APC, like when Akpabio switched to APC, I knew that his political career was over. What happened in Akwa Ibom that so many people were still dancing with Akpabio, and then he didn't know they have so many info, because the people were tired of his godfatherism and control of the Akwa Ibom State. So while he was there, a lot of the people were still, he had some people that were insiders that were also for PDP. They just believed it. If they do people, because what I'm noticing here is Obaseki is winning the election, but Oshomole's mind is just like what happened in Imo State. Probably he will use the information, because if the people of Edo State stand their ground and make sure after the election, the returning officer and every officer that is working, they make sure the results are announced there. Obaseki will be able to make sure, as he is the chief security officer of Edo State, he should make sure he uses his power as the chief security officer of Edo State to control the police. Because Oshomole's intention may be like what happened in Lagos State, where Tinubu knew that Ambode was winning the election, but he used the police, because the police, the soldiers, the military in Nigeria are just a caricature. They allow themselves to get into politics. Look like somebody like the Chief of Army Staff, Inspector General of Police. People have no respect anymore for them, because they are not protecting the lives and property of the country. They are not taking themselves out of politics to make sure that they follow and focus on the right thing to be done. So if Oshomole try what happened in Lagos State, that they use the police and the military to make sure people going to full farm, but they could not, then in Edo State it will not work out. All he is expecting, I believe, will be to use the court like what happened in Imo State, where somebody who was a third or fourth position, the court came and ruled him. But now he may not have that power. So that should be their intention now. Because during that election, you will see that majority of the people will be voting for Obaseki. And my advice to my Edo brothers and sisters are, though if there is still doing registration, go out and get the voting card. Because you can make all the noise you want. You can support Obaseki all you want. But if you don't have that voting power to make sure that day you vote, you stand there to make sure your vote is not messed up with by the police or by anything, then definitely Obaseki will carry the day. And we know he will carry the day. The only hope for Shomole and his group, as at this moment, may be planning strategies that they will use the police or use the DSS and use all those people, because those people have made themselves worthless now in Nigeria, that people have no respect for them from their top to their bottom. People don't have the respect for them which they suppose deserve to have, but they don't have it anymore.
Okay. Obama did nothing for the black people. He's still regarded as one of the great presidents of US. Why? Because he was at least level-headed. Okay, what does that mean?
Yeah, Obama was level-headed. Even though in politics, level-headedness sometimes matter. You can compare that level-headedness to what Obaseki is doing. Obaseki is complete gentleman. The way, because it takes little, like what Jonathan did to Obasanjo. Now, Obasanjo, the karma of what he did to Jonathan is now, that is what he's now fighting. Because he's no more a political voice in Nigeria. All he does every day is looking for one way or the other to be put in the public eye. He will look for that doesn't matter. One day, I believe Tinubu's time is at hand. Soon too, the Yorubas, the Lagosians will follow up these things, so that all these godfatherism should die down in Nigeria. Like Akwa Ibom, and you thought that without him in Akwa Ibom State, nobody can say a word. But now, does it work? No. That is the same thing that is happening with Osemole. I'm just waiting after the election. I believe he will sit one day and regret what he did, that he lost the opportunity of leading the people in Edo State, being honored. Wherever he goes, people will introduce him and respect him. But now that everybody has seen that he is a man of double-edged word, because he says this today, tomorrow he turns it around and believes that he can just fool people around, and people will turn around, because that is just the brain. It's just in his mind that, oh no, if I say this, people will be. No, people are not foolish.
Yeah.
They know exactly what to do.
That
the honor for the whole state to stand up in support of him and say, no, we can't be here and see somebody like you doing what you are doing, and somebody out of hatred or out of greed and selfishness will come and push you away. No, wherever it has never happened in Nigerian political scene that a governor says, I'm moving to this, and the whole place from market, the people will follow you, but there are a group that will not follow. But this one is just a mass. Everyone you speak to, everyone I talk to in Edo, everyone I talk to that is from Edo, everywhere is dog. I have not talked. I'm very honest. I have not met one or two people that says I am talking about Iza Iyamu. Once you mention Iza Iyamu, they call him criminal. They call him. And you, Shomole, came out and waived your immunity. That is a basic issue. That is an important thing people are not looking into. For you to waive your immunity as a governor and say, this man, I'm calling you all these names. If you say I am lying, I have waived my immunity, so that you don't say because of my immunity I can't sue you. Sue me. And this, even what he's saying, could have been an evidence in court. If they go to court to realize that what he was calling him, the names he was calling him was false. So for him to waive his immunity means he was 100% sure of what he was saying and what he was.
The
Yeah,
facts
that is
are
exactly
there.
what I said.
So that the supporters, they are saying that it's a normal thing.
But for the fact that he decided to waive his immunity means if I am like, that is character assassination.
Mhm.
You are completely killing his character if those things are false. Okay, now after you left as a governor, the fact that he even waived his immunity is enough for Yamu to even start court case against him or against his government. But that fact that he said, I waive my immunity, shows that he was, and said, go and check if what I'm saying is a lie.
Lie, yes.
And that means it is true. So it's not that everybody can come. There are a few things you can come out in the politics and talk about somebody, and it's just a political word. But there are a few things you cannot say against somebody's character. And at the end of it, you say it's just a political. Okay, if it was political word, why are you changing it around here now? So that means you were lying to the people of Edo State to destroy these people, and now coming again up now, you are coming to lie to Edo people again. So that means you, Oshomole, is not trustworthy.
It's not trustworthy and it's not consistent.
As a leader, you must be a man of your word. You must say something and then you stand by it.
Yes.
You must say something and know that what you are saying, you don't need to be a leader to go and destroy people's character because of future. Isaiah Yamu has wife, he has children, he has family. What about tomorrow? What do you think about his family, his children? Oh, I'm a son of Isaiah Yamu. I'm a daughter of, that man that poor people acid 20 years ago. That man poor people acid 40 years ago. You know, history doesn't lie. And especially now that we have media, that everything, like most of these things, if it was in the 70s, 80s, 79 election, some of these things you will bet. Now the media is everywhere. People have video cameras that they can record anything you are saying. So everybody's supposed to be even careful what you are telling people about a particular person. So that means if Shomole himself has lied, and now that means he's a man of poor character, and now you are bringing another person of poor character to come and lead your people and take away somebody who is really, really proving to his people, look, I am here to rescue the people as much as I can, because definitely he's not going to finish a do 100%, but I pray he should do better than what he did last time, and then there should be continuation. Like here, me and you are here. The good roads, the good houses, the light. It's not people that we elected or recent, that people did it before, and these people continued until today, one by one, until today we are now doing maintenance. So I wish the next person should take over, that will take over from him after his 8 years, should have good continuation.
Yes. Oshomole has this questionable character in the Nigerian politics. Questionable character. With the way he talks, moreover, he's not consistent. That is what the Edo people are complaining about right now, that Adams Oshomole is not consistent. You told us a few years ago that Isaiah Yamu is this, is that, is a criminal, is under the investigation of EFCC.
Negative words that he made against Isaiah Yamu, I will call it the truth.
The truth
he said about Isaiah Yamu.
Thank you. Yes, I think that is the right word to use.
If you call it negative words, it's like you are talking about hatred. That is, they are not using the negative, they are using the truth he told the Edo people about Isaiah Yamu. And that is exactly who Isaiah Yamu is.
Yes.
Based on what he has told the Edo people. So that truth is now what he's trying to paint back to make that truth become a lie.
A lie.
There is nothing about truth that can be lied.
Exactly. Well said. Yeah, that's the thing. It's the truth. He revealed the truth.
Situation.
Yes, everything he said about Governor Obaseki during the campaign 3 years ago when they were campaigning, exactly the same thing Governor Obaseki is doing right now in Edo State. When you look at the record of Governor Obaseki, everything Adansu Shomole said is he quoted his
You
academic
see,
background.
that is where I get so confused.
Yes.
That
So
is where I get so confused with Oshomole. That is where I get so disappointed
it said,
about
yes.
him. Is that you brought somebody and you told Edo people on record that I trust this man. This man is going to do everything he is promising you people today that he will do. And this man came and he's doing that thing. Come on, you're supposed to be the best
But
godfather.
yes.
This man is not insulting you. Upon all these things, the man is just because you want him to support and be packing Edo money to give to some certain touts, some certain agboro, and some certain people that are not just to. And what does that mean? When you could have called those people and said, look, guys, no, you have enjoyed when I was there. Let this man do this job. This is what I promised people that he is going to do, and he is going to do it, and he is doing it. That is what where you could have been following Obaseki is when you look at the video of the things you promised the people of Edo State that Obaseki is going to do, and he didn't do them. Then you start flogging Obaseki and say, my friend, you are disgracing me. You are making the people see me as a liar. I promised them you are going to do this, but now you are not doing any of those things. So why do you want to disgrace my integrity? Why do you want to disgrace my person? I am the national chairman of APC, and you are the only state that is APC. Come on, man, sit down, sit back, look at things that you're supposed to do for the people. But this one, without pressure, this guy even giving you low blood pressure without even giving you a blood pressure to be high by doing those things you promise the people he will do. Come on, you're supposed to be giving this guy a good applause every time you see him, rather than coming to look for a flimsy reason to. Let's ask this question. Isa Yamu has contested election before, spend a lot of money, spend with PDP. Now he is coming to APC to spend more money. After spending all this money and being the governor of Edo State, what is he going to do than to see how he can recover all this money that he has already spent without winning any election? That is the question.
Yeah, at least they need opponents. It's a normal thing in democracy that
they need opponent. The opponent is the opponent that you look for and say, what is this opponent bringing on the table for the people?
Yeah.
You notice the question about this godfatherism is they, like even Oshomole, all of them, Tinubu, Obasanjo, mentioned them. All of them, you notice that they are not even money that is their problem anymore, because they took a lot, they embezzled a lot. All they are after now is that power that, look, I want this to happen and that happened. I want this to happen. But I thank Edo people for standing up and said no, that must stop. And I wish other states in the country, from the grassroots to every, should copy what is happening in Edo State, the same way it happened in Akwa Ibom State. Now, Nakpabio, I think, is the minister of Niger Delta, but not the money that he's after. But that power he was enjoying, that he has to give his blessing to anybody that has to be given an appointment. He lost it. And that is exactly what Oshomole is losing now. And the next person that will lose is Tinubu. I bet him he will. If he doesn't calm down and let Lagos people choose who to rule them. And other states in the whole federation, if they don't leave people that they elect to position to manage the position and rule the people, rather than spend the money to. And again, civil servants in Nigeria, the civil servants are that help all these governors and all those things, they are also great part of corruption. Those people don't, if you look at it, I have researched about it to find out that they are the part and bigger part of the problem, because they have been the permanent secretaries, accountant generals. Those people have been there. They know exactly all the tricks of how to make sure they don't allow money. Don't mind those people. They know exactly. They are the people that Nigerians should look into, because they are silent killers. The governors, the local government chairmen, they are all out there as the leaders. But those civil servants that are in exalted positions sit there to really embezzle money more than any other thing. They should be looked into. They are a big problem. They are really a big problem.
So, Tinubu, do you think Tinubu is still maintaining the power of Godfather in Lagos?
For today, he is still maintaining, but it's not more as powerful as it was because Ambode started it when he fought him when he for his own re-election too. That is, I said Tinubu escaped that of to be because why I'm notice about Osibanjo as is during the first 3 months or 4 months of Buhari's first tenure, when Buhari was sick and he was like handling the affair of the country before Buhari came back, there was a lot of changes. That 3 weeks, there was a lot of changes. So, but now we don't listen, we don't even see him say anything that is happening in Nigeria. So, and he's well read, he's well learned. So I believe he will use, because he has been the pastor. It's just my own thoughts that, okay, based on some of the things I have seen him do, I feel him should be, if he has the opportunity. But then, that does not mean Nigerians could fold their hand. There are more better people, but all we need to do is, how do we get those who will put politics aside? Like now, we were talking about Obaseki here now. Nobody expected in Edo State that somebody like Obaseki, everybody was still thinking about it to be politics the same way yesterday, today, and continue. But he came and said, no, it can't be the same way yesterday, today, and continue. There must be a change. We can set some few examples, like what happened in Cross River during Donald Duke's administration. Till today, people are still talking about it. What is happening in Ebonyi State? Those are some of the things. What is happening in Edo State? People are seeing few governors that are really impacting the people that they come to serve.
So, right now in Nigeria, according to the trending news, they said Tinubu is planning to run for the 2023 election in Nigeria. But we haven't heard anything from him. There's no uh, official declaration that he's going to be running for 2023, but it's just a speculation.
Yeah.
Let's just assume that he's planning to run for 2023. Do you think he will have the chance? Is there any? Yeah.
I don't. I don't think if election in Nigeria is conducted free and fair, that he will have a chance. Because of his track record too, of what he has done in Lagos. He was good in Lagos, but he took the advantage of what he did in Lagos to now this godfatherism of a thing to control and own almost everything in Lagos. So there is the possibility, except by all, because all they believe now is just rape, like what we had in that last election. So rigging and all those things. But if everything is done accurately, I don't see him having any chance. And in the reality of it, why should Tinubu come up to contest election in Nigeria where we have a man of integrity or an able person like Osibanjo, who is the current vice president? Why? So it's still the issue of greed. It's still the issue of greed. It's still the issue of selfishness. What is he coming to contest election again for? We are looking for younger people. People like I am now, and I can't. There are certain things people cannot do. We are looking. Okay, let's for instance, I said, you work in a ministry. At 65, you retire. That's one ministry. You retire. But now, somebody is at 70. You are going to be the president of Nigeria. President of Nigeria is not the president of only one person. You are going to be in charge of all the military. You are going to be in charge of all the towns. You are going to be in charge of all the churches. You are going to be in charge of all the good people, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. And you need somebody who will have the ability to go through things in order to handle this aspect of things. We should look into all these things because effectiveness matters no matter what.
Mm, yeah, but younger, when you say younger person to come and run Nigeria, do we have a prepared younger person that can take the position right now? Probably we don't have. And with the political structure of Nigeria, it will be very difficult for the youth to strive in the country, politically in the country, because you know the structure of the country that people like Tinubu, like Atiku, okay, those people, those that we considered as cabals, are in control of the politics in the country. So the youth don't have any chance right now with what is going on in the country. We are expecting someone like Atiku and
Uh,
Tinubu in this next
to be
general
very
election.
honest to you, having somebody like Tinubu, having somebody like Atiku to come and run Nigeria would be another great mistake in Nigeria.
Uh-huh.
We don't need people like that. These people have recycled enough. Okay, look at what is happening in Asorok now. The chief of staff died, and now they went and brought another person that his name has been there for decades. How
Yeah.
many ministers do we have from the start of the first administration till now? Come on, you need fresh ideas. It's not going to be set up one day. All you need to do is give other people a chance. Okay, if these people are now remain because they have been there, they started something somewhere. If we give, look, our own prime minister here is a young man, but look at how he's handling the country of Canada. Give the young people, because you have subjected to the young people to the belief that they cannot do anything. So the few that has one little opportunity wants to embezzle too, because tomorrow they don't know you will remove them. But if the young people, like during what year, what age was Babangida when he was given appointment? Even
That
Buhari himself
there's a military. That was
in the military,
in
he's
the
actually, but
military.
it was appointment
They forced none.
to save the country one way or
No.
the other.
They forcefully took over power. They
No, I
forcefully,
understand that.
yeah.
I understand that, but somebody gave them the opportunity. They could forcefully take over power, and somebody decided to recycle good old military officers. But somebody gave them those young opportunities. Why not we give the young ones too, the young growing up, new ideas? They can use technology. I know people will be doubting, oh, they will go there, they feel. No, but then
Look,
the few young ones, you give them the opportunity. What is the difference from the old ones that are there?
sir.
What has the old ones done to prove that the young ones cannot take over? That if the old ones are there, and things are going better in Nigeria, then we will talk about that.
You know what, sir? I have some insight about what you just said. When you say giving chance to the young ones, if for instance you have been occupying certain position, you are the, let's say for example, you are the president of Akwa Ibom Association in Canada, and you have been working hard in the association over these years, and one youth just came in one youth just came in yesterday, then you say, oh, because I'm too old, I've been in this association for a long time, of which you know that there are a lot of resources attached to that position. Okay, a lot of resources and power attached to the position. And one youth just came in yesterday, and this youth has not done anything, has not served the community. He just came in just because he's a youth. You say, okay, let me give you my position. You go on, become the president, take the power over the resources, everything. Will you do that for any youth?
You see, the question about it is being able to guide the people. Like you mentioned, like my association is a very good example.
Yeah,
With the
example. I'm
president,
just
we
yes.
had some new of our sons and daughters that came in. After my prayer, we say, okay, we the people of so age now, we decided to hand over power to the young ones came in contesting. We did not doubt them. We gave them the opportunity to serve, and they are serving well.
No. The one you are talking now, you are talking about the Aqua Ibom Association, for instance, that
Yeah,
you are
so I'm
referring.
just taking the example of
Let
that.
me
If
clarify
we
the
had
difference.
doubted and said, no, we don't want to give them the opportunity, because they are young ones. We wouldn't be able to know where they are. So that next time we can. But then that is why I'm saying, why can't Nigeria give the young ones?
No,
It's not going to be young, maybe 10, 80. There are some, okay, if you score people like Dino Malaye, those could be young people. Governor of there are even somebody like what we call him, Obaseki. You may not say he is that too old, but he is doing something.
What I was trying to say is that the Akwa Ibom Association here that you are referring to, there is no, because I know everything here, okay? There is no resources attached to it. The power is limited, not so much, okay? But when it comes to Nigerian presidency, we have to be realistic here. It will be very difficult for a Nigerian politician who has been in the system for years, who knows the nitty-gritty of Nigerian politics, who have been working hard to coordinate his party or involving in the party over these years, and knowing fully well that this position has a lot of power, a lot of resources, then just allow one youth who don't know anything about the politics and giving power to the youth to come around the country. With the greed and corruption going on among Nigerian politicians, it will be very, very difficult.
That is where we're having, because they have enjoyed that power. And it doesn't mean that it's like in the ministry. You see, permanent secretary, so every position. It's not going to be that they're going to just sweep away all the old politicians. But it's just bringing in new ones, changing some old names to give the new ones the experience, the ability to learn. So that as the older ones are going out, the newer ones are coming in, and also bringing in no newer ones until those newer ones who came now become older, and then it continues like what is happening with us here. Some people will say, oh, in US there are some senators have been there for 40 years and all those things, but they are serving the people. See, I'm not concerned about who is in any position in Nigeria. It doesn't bother me what position is. The only thing that bothers me is, are the people that send you there, are you serving them? You see, this is one of the reasons that made me attach myself to Obaseki. It's not because of Obaseki is a saint. It's not because of Obaseki is... No, the reason is, Edo people are happy, pensioners are happy, market women are happy, people selling on the streets are happy. Everybody is completely happy because of what he is doing. That is the basis of what we should be thinking about and looking at. Should be, what is he doing for the people? That is the basic issue. It's not how old somebody is that matters. It's what have you done for the people. If you leave that place, will the people be shouting and happy and jubilating? Or if you want to leave that place, people will be crying. Oshomole removed Obaseki from contesting in Edo State. The whole friends I know, the whole place was like, if it's a dead place. Every place was so quiet. Everybody was shedding tears. People I called that I know everybody, you felt the impact of this man living.
Yes.
And when he turned to a new party, everybody said, no, anyway, for people to say, wherever you go, we will go with you. Yes. It means a lot.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, you have been following the trend. That is so good. You are really Obaseki's supporter.
Yeah,
you have been following the trend. Thank you, sir. I think we have already got to the end of this show today. More than 1 hour now. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Like what I said, we all should understand that this war, we can, wherever you are. So there is one thing I always say. It doesn't matter how many million you steal or you take. Just wherever you are, you are listening to me. To value something, just close your eye. Look at something that you value so much in your life that is within you. Just close your eye for 5 seconds. I say only 5 seconds. You will see that that thing is valueless. You won't even recognize how that thing looks like. I say for 5 seconds. So if you are in position of authority, wherever we are here, that we were born here, every ground, every floor that we match our foot, has been here for billions or if not trillions of years. And it will continue to be here while we are away. But what matters is, how did you impact people's life? That is the key word, is what you do to impact people's life. The Nigerian politicians should understand that if people in Nigeria or Africa or the world are not interested about how many millions you want to bet, all they're after is to have a better life. Just give them that better life. You will see how many people will come to ask how much that road was awarded. In as much as that road has been well constructed, there is school for children, there is water, there is everything, there is pay, salary at the end of. Come on, nobody will bother you. So Nigerian citizens in Nigeria, please emulate what is happening in Edo State. Let there be no more godfatherism. Follow whoever is doing the best so that we can change Nigeria. It's you and I that can change Nigeria.
Yes.
But we have to stand our feet on the floor and say, it doesn't matter what, we will stand and change this country, and we can do it. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for supporting our state. Despite that you are not from Edo State, I appreciate that. I hope all Edo State citizens.
I think there was some about Tokbe.
Obaga Tokbe.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for joining us today. Yes, sir.